Welcome everyone to the penultimate round of the TDM FunCup Championship. It is possibly championship crowning day in what has been an absolutely fantastic campaign. It's been unpredictable, but one thing has been for sure. We've had a great dominant driver at the front who has been with us since the start of the season, and a few others have joined throughout. They've been able to give him a challenge, but being there from round one has meant that Weber has got a good advantage and could possibly be our first ever champion. It is going to be very, very exciting. And here we go to live pictures out there on the circuit. This is Brands Hatch Indy, and this is one of the great circuits. A lot of drivers, a lot of people will tell you. And for these cars, it's going to be thrilling. Of course, we had a Brands Hatch round earlier on, but this is now the Indy layout that we are specifically on. And as we very nearly send the drone in towards the gravel trap, let's hope the marshals do not have anything else to clear up today, which I'm sure they will, because these drivers love pushing the limit. So it is going to be really exciting to see what they all have for us here today. Well, in commentary, my name is Omi. Delighted to be back with you after missing a round, of course, last time. So it is great to be back, and it should hopefully be very, very exciting at the same time. Really looking forward to seeing how this round is going to go. And of course, as I've mentioned, it could be one which seals the championship. If Weber Narashta wins race one, he's the champion no matter what anyone else can do. Sandy Burgi, well, if he wins race number one, the championship goes down to race two. That's a guarantee. So, you know, those are your, I guess, two main key elements in terms of whether we see the champion crowned in race one or race two. We're going to have to follow it. We might have to play it a little bit by doing some mats live, but that's just the way. That is just the way. And we're going to have to deal and contend with it here today. So I'm looking forward to seeing how overall it's all going to play out. Should be hopefully a really fascinating round of competition. Now, of course, we've had different drivers take wins, and that is thanks to Jack Smith, who came in late in this championship, and it's going to be very exciting to see how that will all unfold. Okay, these are live pictures for you now in full as we follow Daniel round the circuit. So Daniel making his way by as he sends the car in, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Daniel is going to be able to try and do. He's a driver who can sometimes be in the mix, can't he? He can sometimes be in the mix when it comes to qualifyings, I think, in the mid-pack. And then in the races, if there is TDM FunCup Championship chaos, he can absolutely get himself up there. And I'm really, really excited to see whether he's going to be able to do that. For now, coming to a complete standstill. For a reset back to the pit lane, we have got 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here of this FunCup Championship practice. This is, of course, a 10-minute official practice that the drivers have, but they've been running for now quite a decent while, if I'm honest. They've been running now for a decent while in terms of what they've been able to do today, what they've been able to basically do for an entire week. And quite literally, it is an entire week that these drivers get to run out around the circuit. And as you can see, in preparation, one driver who absolutely has been getting in the preparation very nearly 500 laps. Very nearly 500 laps. And it's going to be really much, I think, interesting once again to see whether it is going to play out, because I think he's got a good opportunity to try and take that somewhere. Now, George Given, another driver who's getting himself in with the graphics, but you know, he promised us that he would match Daniel, he would beat Daniel, and did that happen? No, it did not happen, unfortunately, for his case. So, you know, we were given some promises. Some were, should we say, kept, some were broken. That is the way things just work. Okay, we're very nearly out of this practice and in towards qualifying, which Weber Narashta in every round he's participated in, he's taken pole position. The one round he wasn't there, it was the driver who made his debut then, and now he's a comfortable driver in this championship very quickly. Jack Smith very much impressed us in day one. And, you know, we all said, okay, this is going to be an interesting driver to keep an eye on, I think. And it's very much proven to basically be that. It's very much proven to basically be that, you know, he can fight and he can be a contender more often than not. And, you know, he's now coming off basically doing the double at Silverstone. He did the double in an absolutely fantastic way. And I think he's got a lot to show next season, I think, as a full-time championship contender. Weber Narasha is not going to have it easy when you've got a driver who very much has the possibility and has the chance to try and, you know, do the double and basically do what he does in terms of specific rounds. We're taking a look right now around this absolutely extraordinary circuit with the drone cam, which I missed last time, and I'm very, very excited that I can have it this time with our brilliant producer JT behind the scenes as he watches on and looks on at all of the chaos, all of the cars, and the gravel as well, which is met out there on the circuit. It is right now turning out to be quite a chaotic practice session so far. What else do you expect though in the TDM FunCup Championship? Because it's the only way things go. It is the only way things go in this series, where that's the approach the drivers take, and everyone else just has to really put up with it. In terms of us as an audience, Matt Pryor, who was part of that audience earlier, now, of course, he finds himself as a driver returning back to the series, and I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how he's going to be getting on. I think as a driver who's had a round back underneath him, and we'll see who can try and possibly get himself in the mix. Okay, well, we're now at the end of practice, as we've already mentioned to you, but it's now a situation of can we try and maybe go flat to the floor into the first turn? And anyone go straight on? No. Let's really momentarily take a look at our absolutely brilliant paddock that lies ahead. Absolutely love the drone cam as well at the same time. So let's see how this is going to go. What are we going to get out of today in this championship, and in terms of the qualifying and then the two races that we have coming up? We very much could be getting closer and closer towards a championship crowning moment, and there's no points for qualifying, but it all really just begins at this moment. So let's now get into it. Let's very much go into this and see whether Webber can first of all keep that streak going, because remember, when it comes to qualifying, he's had a consistent running across all of the races so far, and can he now do it in the final two? Well, we mentioned what we've had so far. You can see all of the rounds, Brands Hatch, Silverstone, and then of course we went over to the Red Bull Ring at Austria. Then we went over to Nürburgring, and then we had Vallelunga, Laguna Seca, and then Silverstone was last time out. We're at Brands Hatch Indy today, and then we're over to Imola at round number 9. However, you may be asking, what is to come in the future? Well, I know what's to come in the future. I can't tell you, but I can, well, make you wait just a little bit longer until later on today, where once the checkered flag falls for race number 2, I'll waffle for maybe a minute, you know, possibly saying well done to our champion, maybe just, you know, saying a few thoughts, and then I'm going to introduce the new Season 2 calendar in a brilliant video that has been put together by a producer, and then after that, we can properly begin a waffle session where we can get drivers in, we can have conversations, not only on today, but also get their thoughts on the calendar as well. Because, you know, a few drivers have said they want certain circuits. Are they going to be getting disappointed or not? It's going to be fascinating to see. Oh, here we go. And we bring you back over to the live action. But not only that, you can just continue seeing me as well. Thanks to our side-by-side cam. This is qualifying for the 8th time this season. Brands Hatch, Silverstone, Red Bull Ring, Nürburgring, Vallelunga, Laguna Seca, Silverstone, and back over to Brands Hatch, this time for the Indy layout, and this time to see who is going to be the driver to take pole position. Going to be a very, very fascinating qualifying session this. Who's going to be able to get the right lap time at the correct time, because I think that's also very, very important so many times. Who's going to be able to do that, and who's going to be able to emerge as the driver on top. So, the outlaps usually can cause a bit of chaos. You usually see drivers who all get very close together, and I mean, there's every bit of a chance that they could get close together once again. We've got 10 incredible drivers looking to now take to this qualifying session, and we've also got one that we haven't seen so far as well, in terms of Jonathan, because it has been a while when it comes to them, as over the line we go with Weber Narashto in towards turn number 1. All the camera angles in the world for him to navigate his way through the opening turns on the circuit, and the opening laps come into play for these drivers. So they are out laps that you're seeing at the moment come on screen in terms of the timings, and now you're seeing the actual push beginning. Oh, that's wide. That is wide for the driver on the brink of winning the championship. I mean, if we get rid of one race, if we get rid of the upcoming race, he is your champion as it stands. Because at the moment, if it stays the same in the standings, after one more race that we're about to run, of course we have 2 coming on today, but after one race, if it stays the same, Weber is your champion. It's as simple as that. So he just needs to finish ahead of them all. That's the simple goal, to keep it very easy in his head and in our head as well. Drivers continue their teleportation into the pit lane. Drivers continuing having some excursions off the road as well, as you can see right now in your picture. That's Armstrong resetting back towards the pit lane, and it is all going on now at the same time. Matt Pryor finds himself back, as we've already described to you. Remember, the drivers, it's not a long qualifying session this. They of course have plenty of practice, but only it gets condensed down into a 10-minute qualifying session. We're drifting away as they push on through, and this is going to be, I think, a very, very much this is going to be a session which I think very much could come down all the way until the end, as well. Our drone's doing well to keep up with the cars, isn't it? I think even going faster than the cars. Look at this, absolutely fantastic. JT Loving Life getting really close towards the cars, quite literally out there on the circuit. Who thought all of this was possible? I mean, in real life, they just all run from far away. Look at JT just absolutely going side by side with the car. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Who said a commentator can't have a bit of racing with the drivers? Because, I mean, he's the one who's providing some of the side by side and some of the wheel to wheel, which I just find absolutely fantastic. Really, really close. Okay, but it is Weber Narashto, the driver to beat at the moment in time. Track limits continuing to be a thing of discussion in terms of, I'm sure, between the drivers who are all watching each other. I think they're all going to be like watching it and just being like, oh, that's a bit cheeky, and then they're all going to copy each other, because of course that is just the way things run, basically, at the moment in time. Right, interesting session so far, but now it's going to be fascinating to see whether we're going to get any more changes nearer to the front, because of course the margins as it stands are close. You've got, well, 800ths of a second between first and second. So of course, as Daniel also momentarily went up to third a few moments ago, Jonathan then is finding himself in second. He's the one really, really close in contention, only 800ths away, and it's the job of Weber Narashto and some of those other drivers to try and beat him. So, over the line. another lap begins as John Jig pushes on. John Jig currently, of course, running now in 4th when it comes to the championship, behind Weber Narashta, behind Sandy Burgi, and behind the late charger that we've had come in this season, Jack Smith, I should say, as well. Weber Narashta, complete opposite. He's been here all the way since the start of this campaign. We mentioned and talked about Daniel and what type of day he could possibly have. So far, turning out to be quite a decent day, if I'm honest. Turning out to be quite a decent day indeed. Matt Pryor, can we say the same thing about him? Of course, was very much a driver who was in contention. Oh my word, take a look at the timing board there. George Given to the front of the field. We know he loves this circuit and absolutely has once again produced some brilliance around it. I've seen it in other leagues and in other competitions. He's now got it only for a moment though, because of course the driver at the front, Weber Narashta, was not going to let it stay, and Weber Narashta takes it back by 65 thousandths of a second. Is it game on in qualifying? Well, time to find out, because as we've said, in every session that Weber's done, he's been the driver on pole. He didn't participate in Nürburgring. That gave a chance, and that gave the chance to Jack Smith, who was able to very much get in there. As we push our way through and continue our circulation around Brands Hatch Indy. Oh! Spin, and we're going to go around with Jonathan at the moment, and he'll reset and teleport straight back to the pit lane after the moment that he's had. That's another moment that we've cut to, and that's another driver to go straight and teleport his way back as well. So in terms of your order at the moment, it's Weber, then it is Given, who's very much come alive for the first time in this. He's very much come alive, hasn't he, for the first time this season, in terms of being a contender at the front, and he absolutely is a bit of a contender at the front of the field. So it's been fast and furious, hasn't it, across today so far, in the practice that we run, in the qualifying that we're running right now, and well, it is a battle that is ongoing. It is a battle that is ongoing for pole position. Who is going to have it? Who is going to take it? We've not got long to go to find out. I think we could be in for a very much tasty battle over single lap, and that's what we have got coming up for us right now. So the drivers will now just continue progressing and making their way by, and now they'll begin to basically now enter the final stage, because of course we've only got a couple of seconds to go in terms of 34 seconds at the moment, so not long at all, but it is Weber currently on course as he searches for the championship today. He's got the advantage at the moment. It's going to be George Given, the driver, who's going to look to try and break the party. Also, do not of course count out Jonathan as well. I think he's got a great and a big opportunity here today. As we follow the cars, this is Rum, who we were watching a few moments ago. We're just now currently following our drivers across the line to see what lap they can manage. Okay, George Given's had a moment. He's flashing as red on our timing board. Let's send it now over the line. And it is Weber Narashta still at the front of the field. He's taken the checkered flag. Can anyone force a lap to try and contend? It is Narashta, then Given. Jonathan is up there. Daniel, and then Jack Smith. Jack Smith, I'm sure, will want to try and move forward, but he can't, because he's, of course, already also taken the checkered flag. So, Given with the moment, could it lead himself vulnerable? Could it lead himself vulnerable over the line? Matt Pryor is in P6, so that's where Pryor's been able to get up to. This is just fantastic. The consistent running of laps that we're seeing by these fantastic drivers And it has been one of the incredible qualifying sessions, because it's been one that has ran close time after time after time, and it appears like Weber Nirashta may have just done it once again. There is seriously no stopping him. As apparently. So, our producer is suspecting. There we go. There we go. We got to the car of Daniel, who's managed to escape the bounds of the circuit by going straight on. Just, I mean, these drivers have been waiting for the chance to explore something new when they're not meant to on a traditional on the circuit that we're running that day. But there we go. There we go. Apologies, by the way, for the, well, very much laggy camera that you are seeing. So we're not going to bore you with that far too much, and we're going to show you the interesting bits, because today, as we've already described, could be championship day if Weber Nirashta is able to turn P1 to P1, pretty much. It's as simple as that. Sandy Burgi, Jack Smith, John Jig, Daniel, Given, Pryor, Armstrong, Rum, Buck, Belditch, and Noah Ferrone. Okay, we here up here in the commentary box are going to quickly restart OBS, and then we'll be straight back with you. And we are back with you up here in the commentary box as we get all set, back and ready for now what will be racing coming our way very, very soon. As we go back now and take a look at our standings. So that's what we were showing you a few moments ago, and that is how it basically looks. That's the situation heading in towards this race. I've already made it clear. You have 75 points available in the final 3 races. Of course, one of those races being the second one that we're going to run today. Right now, the gap that Weber Nirashta has is 80 points over second. That is the points difference he has. So if it basically finishes how it's going to start, then Weber Nirashta, you are the TDM FunCup Series champion. Right, we take it all the way till the back. George Given has his best qualifying result in TDM FunCup Championship history. We've got Jonathan in the mix as well. So many drivers, such a mixed up grid. This is going to be thrilling. Weber Nirashta, stay where you are, and you will be the first TDM FunCup Series champion. But there is so many drivers looking to try and beat him. All lights are on. We are racing at Brands Hatch Indy. Good pull away for Weber Nirashta. That will be the advantage. Down towards the first turn. Given is chopping across and looking to try and maintain second place. I think Daniel has got a chance to go for third. He's on the outside line as they blast their way by. Daniel trying to make use of that opportunity on the outside line, and it looks like he's going to be roaring his way through. So we find ourselves with Weber Nirashta with the lead in the mid-pack. They still run side by side, looking to try and hang on to the car was Matt Pryor as he drops down. Oh no, contact. Pryor involved with Burgi, and Matt Pryor for the second round in a row is going to find himself in trouble, and he's also of course involved with the driver who is looking to try and beat Weber today, and Weber Nirashta may have just added a couple more fingers to the championship now because he's a step closer. Burgi is faded down, and meanwhile George Given at the front of the field has a chance to try and go on the attack, has a chance to try and go for the race lead at the circuit that he loves, out of the slipstream to the inside line, and welcome to the front, George Given. He leads for the first time in TDM FunCup, but can he keep it there? Can he defend it? Weber Nirashta fights straight back on the inside line. Given's gonna try and keep his foot flat to the floor, and we're getting all ready to the brilliant side-by-side action that we are used to loving now in this championship. And Weber Nirashta has got P1, and now can he try and hold on? Can he try and survive? That's a moment there for Ishmael Armstrong. Back over to the front we look. Weber Nirashta with P1, George Given with P2. Jonathan is going to lose out in the background. Up to third position goes Jack Smith. And now Smith is back in the mix. As we push our way down towards the final few corners if you're further back, through the first few corners if you're at the front. And Webber and Given looking now to try and control this, because they now know that Jack Smith's there, so you've got to be slightly careful with another driver in the mix. Let's jump on board with Jack Smith. It is all action for him. Of course it is, as he looks to try and attack the two drivers that are ahead. And this is already set and poised to be one of those fantastic FunCup races, because no one's had a breakaway. They're all still running close together. And George Given said to me that we've had a oh there could be the chance, that could be the chance inside line. I'll need to come back to that in a second, because he's about to possibly dish out the overtake out of the final corner on the start finish straight. And Brands Hatch getting treated to all of the action at the moment. Over the line we go. Could we be about to go 3 wide? It could be soon, because Jack Smith is there. For the moment though, it's George Given's race lead. He's able to take P1, but he's running slightly deep. And now Jack Smith's got an opportunity to attack Webber Nirashto all the time as well. Nirashto turns the defense into the attack. He goes to the inside and he takes the race lead now. Away from George Given, who's back down to second place. And we're now wheel to wheel for third. Smith, can he try and stay ahead of Jonathan just for the moment? Nirashto, then Given. This is a replay of all that's been going on in terms of the chaos that we had at the start. So keep an eye on Pryor and Burgi. They're going to get themselves involved very shortly in a bit of a moment, as they will push on by. So it is clean at the front. Oh, I think there's going to be a bit of a swipe. So you've got one of the white livery cars in the mix hitting the side of Pryor into Burgi, and those two find themselves going off. I think that was Daniel, who may have been involved, or Rum, who were the cars that were to the side and making a bit of contact. As now at the front of the field, George Given just looming large in the mirrors at the moment, and looming large to just control things. This has been a fascinating start. It's been a start that we're used to now in this championship, and we have really become used to it, because there's so much entertainment. And that's not us exaggerating it, because every round we seem to start a TDM FunCup race. Race 1 are usually are the calmer ones, and then race 2 it goes wilder. If this is what we're having in race 1, what could we have when the gloves are off later on? I mean, we're meant to be possibly calling a champion home today, and I mean, it might be a mess of a last lap in terms of trying to work it all out if these two continue battling their way by. As it stands though, as we go side by side once again, as it stands, if Webber does even finish second to George Given, he would still be the champion. So that's important to note for the moment. So it's fine if these two continue battling. And, well, they are battling. They are absolutely delivering all the entertainment. But now Jack Smith's got the opportunity. Inside line. Can he get past George Given? Could this be the moment that Webber Nirashto breaks away? So I'm just being told in my ear, Armstrong's also gone off at Paddock Hill at the moment, so that's further back in the field, which is why he's dropped to 10th in your leaderboard. Still the pair go wheel to wheel. Given with the inside should be able to hold it. The wider line though for Jack Smith, is it going to give him momentum? Look at the speed as we jump on board, placing the car on the outside. It's going to get very close, tyre to tyre, door to door, over the start finish line and into the first consequential turn on this circuit. Are we going to be seeing Jack Smith flick it the long way round? No. Can he try to get the cutback? His momentum's been interrupted, and now Jonathan's got a chance further back. Into the corner we go, and now Webber Nirashto is getting his breakaway. Very nearly the breakaway to possibly become champion in the remaining races. Time once it all ticks down, he could be the champion if these two continue fighting, and they are fighting. George Given now side by side, and look at that from Jonathan trying to go through on the pair of them. Inside line, they're very nearly 4 wide because there's 4 cars not separated by anything. Given somehow hangs on to it. He was under attack both sides by the same liveried cars in terms of Smith and Jonathan, and somehow Given emerged as the driver on top, but he still has to fight this onto the straight. This is now turning out to be quite the chaotic contest, and we're basically back together glued together once again. So Smith is ahead of Given. Given's now trying to fight. That's the car coming up the inside line. Waiting for his chance once again is going to be Jonathan at the moment. It's super tight between the pair of them. Are we going to be seeing the outside line work? Given twitches. That's going to lose him momentum to not just one car, but two cars. And the man who was contending for the lead might just drop all the way off the podium. And I think that might just happen now. So he's going to drop down as they continue fighting their way by. The TDM FunCup Championship continues to amaze us, and off the road very nearly he's going to go Jonathan. I can definitely tell you he's gone off the ideal racing line. So it is Narashta, then it is Smith, as they make their way through. And now Daniel, is it going to be a contender? Are we about to go 3 wide? Step back, this could get really, really close, and it is going to get close, but Given is right now being mugged absolutely everywhere. I don't think this is the race that he would have wanted. It's all faded away for him, so he's dropped down, and he's now looking at a very, very different race. Looking at a really, really different race, unfortunately, to the one he would have been dreaming of at the start of the day. This has been quite the contest so far, and a contest which still has about 6 minutes and 40 seconds to run. Oh, that's going to be a bump. That's going to be a bump off the road we're going to go. And, well, I mean, that is really stock car racing in terms of the way they kind of got into each other. So, that is just unbelievable as they make their way by. And now the battling is going to continue down the straight. But, of course, that was a bump given to Daniel. We're now watching Given battle with John Jig through the opening couple of turns on the circuit. Jig's got the inside line. Can he consolidate this position? Given will brave it out. Will really use the advantage of the TDM FunCup Championship car. And, well, there we go. That is the battle sorted for now. Back to single file, only for a moment. It's time for George Given to have another attack back. So, let's see. Oh, off. And that will be the chance. Through goes George Given. And oh, contact. John Jig rejoins and Daniel is involved again. And it's a mess out there on the circuit. I think this has to be, the most contact we've had of any TDM race. Because we had one at the start. We've just had one, of course, a few moments ago, stock car style. And now we've had another one. This is really turning out to be quite a feisty day. I mean, oh, can he keep it together? Yes. We're getting lots of jump scares at the moment, honestly. It's unbelievable. So, around the outside, there is the chance now. So, Jonathan with that mistake. Now coming under threat. Given taking advantage and moving through. Sandy Burgi, who found himself off the road earlier on. More contact. And this time Jonathan's going to be sent off and spinning into the grass. And I think the stewards are going to have a lot to review after today. Add that to the list. Add that to the collection of incidents that we have had. All the while, we are possibly moments away from crowning our Season 1 champion. Most likely to crown our Season 1 champion at this rate. Right, should we get to some replays now for you? This was, you know, the kind of stock car approach where you just push a driver in to the corner, send them out deep, and say goodbye, really, and get on with the rest of your running. That is... Okay, interesting stuff there. Then this was the next few moments that we had. So this was a battle between Given and Jig as they were racing their way by and through into the corner. And then he's going to go in deep. He's going to be all out of shape and then hit, slam into the side. Very nearly of Burgi first of all, and then it was into the side of Daniel. And then it's going to be Burgi who's the one, I think, who next is distributing the push to Jonathan. We're also going to have to keep an eye live all the time because Burgi has got the opportunity to try and make the move on Given. As we make our way through over the line, another lap begins and the inside line being covered by George Given. Sandy Burgi trying to push, trying to make the move all the way around the outside. Well, I mean, he's back on that racing line now. He's got the opportunity. This would be brave. Can he try to keep the foot in? Given slides. Given pushes him out wide. And Burgi now with the inside line. That is an absolutely incredible overtake. Hard but fair racing as they make their way by. And Sandy Burgi improves to the podium position now. And it is Narashto, Smith and Burgi your top three. And after all of the chaos, we're somehow back to a usual top three, really. What we usually see at the end of races. Unbelievable. What a day. What a day of racing this has been. So, over the line, another lap begins. And we are pushing our way through. Matt Pryor, after some of his chaos that he's had today, up to 6th. He's doing well. Doing very, very well at the moment, isn't he? He's having an absolutely fantastic time of things. We are 2 minutes away from crowning our first champion in the TDM FunCup Championship. And it is, well, never looked in doubt, has it? It was very much a case of coming into today where he'd wrap it up! George Given! Can he keep it? Yes, he can keep it together, but not keep the, position of 4th now. Improving himself up is going to be Rum now, as he gets himself in the mix. This has been the race of contact, of sliding, of drifting, and of jump scares. But us up here in the commentary box, and anyone watching on at home, this has been a TDM race, which has been a TDM race. You've had hints of it, but it's also felt like we've had a different element also added into this. There's just been something else in the air that's made this race seem even more chaotic to some degree. So, I mean, we've got the season 2 calendar being revealed later. Could you imagine if we just decide to scrap anything that we may have planned and just, you know, tell you, oh, we're just going to race here every single week? Because at the moment, we're getting it all. We're getting it all. And we're very nearly getting another move. George Given all over the back of Rum. So over the line we are going to go. And it'll be interesting to see whether we are going to be coming over the line one more time, whether this is going to be the final lap. So we might just be able to make it, so we'll have to keep an eye on that to see whether Weber Narashto is going to be becoming champion. But for the moment, George Given looking to try and just make a move and trying to move up to 4th on the outside line. It's going to be a close one. That's not what we usually want when it's a championship being decided, but it might just be a close one on this lap as the timer continues to tick down. Weber Narashto is at the front of the field, and he has had an incredible campaign. We'll wait to see what the timer is going to do as it ticks down, and he will make his way up towards the line. And Weber Narashto is the Season 1 TDM FunCup champion. He has done it with a stellar performance, and after the dominations of qualifying, after the brilliant races where he has finished 1st or 2nd in all of them, his moment is now, and he has done the job with 3 races to spare. That is how to win a championship, and he has kicked off the journey in TDM history. Season 1 goes to Weber Narashto, your champion, and he's done it at one of the great circuits as well. A special moment for him, and you know, while he'll tell you all about, I'm sure, how most of all he just wanted to have fun. He's had fun, but he's had his championship moment as well. Congratulations, Weber Narashto, on doing the job. Jack Smith was 2nd, and Sandy Burgi was 3rd. And that is how they came over the line. But Weber, your Season 1 champion. And he, I'm sure, is going to be looking to try, and next season, go back to back. But he's answered the question in Season 1. It is his campaign, and that was very much a Weber performance. He was close at the start. He was able to extend his legs after that point, once they started scrapping away, and he just won. Just won. And that's quite literally the only explanation that we can really give. Congratulations to a great driver, to a fantastic driver, on what is a deserving performance. in terms of deserving reward for all of his performances that he has put in. As you take a look at all the cars, and all the drivers stationary. I'm sure we're in the Discord call right now, congratulating Weber at the moment in time. So got a bit of tension to it, I think. George Given wants to be coming and charging back, I think, for that second place. Right, I mean, we're entering now another race, and as we've just seen, okay, now the grid is more traditional, heading into race number 2, we'll say that. But as we've just seen, if there is a bit of chaos and if it does all just go wild, very easily, I think there's a real possibility that maybe, just maybe, we could actually see, you know, a mixed up race order all of a sudden, because that's usually the way, isn't it? But no, congratulations to Weber Ashto, doing the job fantastically. And I mean, that'll be one of the main talking points leaving today, and we'll head into Imola next time out with everything just sealed in terms of the championship. It's quite literally going to be turn up, drive, and have a bit of fun. Let's see. In terms of how it's going to go, I think it's important to mention we've got a battle that is still developing for the positions of second. That's on. We've got a battle on for fourth as well. So overall, you've got multiple battles going on, is basically what I'm trying to say in terms of the other positions. So we'll definitely try and keep you up to date with that, because I mean, there's a lot to definitely still fight for, is what I'm trying to say in terms of this championship so far. And most of all, while we've got a championship, I think this has been one of the series where even when Weber Nirashta says, yeah, I'll win the championship, but most of all, I'm having fun. And that's, I think, the most important thing as well. That, yeah, we've had a champion crowned, but most of all, these rounds have all just been fun for these drivers and entertainment for all of us watching on. So at the same time, round 9 does not lose anything. Even if it's already all wrapped, it does not lose one single thing, because the whole way that we go racing, it will not change. And I mean, bar today, we've mostly just been able to enjoy the racing. Of course, today we've had the added implication of a championship. That added implication gone now, pretty much. It's gone, and now we can focus on the race at hand. Once again, it's going to be really exciting to see. But no, honestly, we had to wait over the line to see whether Weber Nirashta would be champion on that lap. And we asked the question that would he make it or not for another lap. I mean, he's created some extra laps for us this season to give us a fantastic battle. But in terms of that day, in terms of today, wasn't to be. That was the lap where it was all being wrapped, and we got to see him over the line, being crowned as the opening series champion. Now, it is time to very nearly go racing. And we're about to go racing all over again. We're going to be taking the grid that we've just basically finished in terms of race 1. That sets the grid for race number 2, and that's how we will be beginning. So as I said, it's more of a traditional grid in terms of you have your quicker drivers most likely at the front, or your traditional quicker drivers at the front. But yeah, now it's going to be a case to see what's going to happen. Okay, here come the lights. Race number 2. We've got our champion crowned. Can anyone beat him now? We're underway and racing. Great start for Sandy Burgi from 3rd position. He's going to go level, I think, with Jack Smith. He's trying to create some room for himself up against Jack Smith and Weber Nirashta through the opening turns, but Weber Nirashta hangs on to it. Then it is Smith. Can Burgi try beat him down towards the braking zone now, though? He's got the inside line. Weber's going to try pull away as our new champion leads us through the opening few turns, running in slightly deeper, having the advantage. Then it is Smith. Then it is Burgi as we go 2 by 2 further back, as they try and keep it together, and it's going to be very close as they make their way by. So Rom is fighting himself off the road, and also in the white liveried machine, Daniel was off further up the road as well. Cars absolutely everywhere. What else did you expect? Having seen this whole season, it's of course going to be just a very much opening lap of dodgems, pretty much. Side by side for second, Jack Smith and Sandy Burgi. Burgi with the inside, Smith on the outside. battle on the brakes in towards turn 1, and then of course it's not a complete standstill braking zone because of course you're immediately just trying to stand on the power immediately, so it's a bit of a lift and then you're straight on the power to make your way to this part of the circuit into the corner, you brake, and that's of course the first chance that you do get at properly stamping on those brakes and seeing whether you can make an overtaking chance out of it. Anyway, Nirashto, Smith and Burgi, the top 3. Sandy Burgi runs in slightly deep. And then of course you have George Gibbon looking to try and get involved all the while as well. This is interesting stuff as we make our way by. And let's see now whether Jack Smith, these two contenders for so long in the GDM FunCup Championship, what does Jack Smith have for us? Is he going to be able to put together a battle that will go to the end? In terms of the battle for the lead, it's usually race 2s. It's usually race 2s that we usually get, isn't it? It's race 2 usually where we see some of the battles for the lead in terms of this series. For some reason, it always seems like race 2 in terms of it goes down to the last lap. Of course, Nürburgring, if any of you saw that, Sandy Burgi selling the dummy on the last lap at turn 1. And if you thought turn 1 was something, let's go to the last corner of Laguna Seca 2 weeks ago. And outrageous scenes. Absolutely outrageous scenes that day. For Weber Nirashto to sell the dummy and dive to the inside and get the job done. It was absolutely fantastic. Over the line we go. Can Jack Smith continue to be close? Can he try and force a chance for himself? Really exciting to see as we make our way by out there on the circuit. But to the side of screen, you can see the championship standings after race number 1. Weber Nirashto has done the job. That is why it's very much in gold. And everyone else, it is all still to fight for in terms of the further positions. But yes, Burgi and Smith will have a battle, I'm sure, and then 4th downwards will be a battle as well. So that is the championship standings in terms of, well, that's some live work from our producer after race number 1 to get that sorted for us. And do not worry, if you become a TDM FunCup champion, you're getting the full experience. I mean, he's now got it out of the way for us. Of course, after this race, we'll immediately go towards Season 2, but no. Oh! Weber, can he keep it together? Off the road for the champion of the series now, and he's lost the lead. Jack Smith claims it. Sandy Burgi goes through to 2nd as well. And the man who has never found himself outside the top 2 is currently in 3rd, looking to try and keep the streak going. He may have wrapped up the championship, but he's got a few streaks that I'm sure he'll want to keep up. A big moment in the context of this race. Could that be the race-changing moment, I wonder? I really think it could. I would not be surprised. It happened as he went out deep. But now, I mean, he's coming under a bit of pressure at the same time. So rather than going forward, he's actually looking in the mirrors. And, well, that is definitely a bit of a contrast to what he would have been thinking heading into this race. But of course, you have now George Gibbon in behind, who has very much looked fired up. I mean, he was a provisional pole sitter earlier. Of course, got it taken away at the end, but a front row start for him. And then a driver who was able to battle for the lead as well, all the while. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. But now Weber Nirashto, how do you respond? Are you going to keep the streak going? It's going to be really, really fascinating to see. Every single race, 1st or 2nd that he's competed in. Of course, he hasn't done every round this season because he missed the round at Nürburgring. Other than that, every single round, 1st or 2nd in each race. He's had, of course, the double done at the Red Bull Ring, at Brands Hatch as well. So, I mean, he's had it all pretty much in terms of the way he goes about things. Sandy Burgi getting closer at the front. And we've got a battle emerging for the lead of the race. Jumping on board with Sandy Burgi. Yes, as I mentioned, he has has got a great opportunity to try and put his name forward to try and become, well, the driver to win this race. Of course, Sandy Burgi, remember, chasing now what would be his only his second win of the campaign. He of course sold the dummy in Nürburgring, and that's how he was able to do it. That was the only win that he got. Could this be the chance to go for win number 2 up against the driver of Jack Smith, who has done it time after time after time? Okay, it's still very much looking calm, controlled at the moment for Jack Smith, but Sandy Burgi is forging a threat. He is large in the mirrors. Weber Narashta right now is becoming a bit of a spectator with the rest of us at the moment. His streak might be about to go in terms of being first or second, unless these two have some late drama. Of course, they'll be hoping to avoid that. But who knows? As they push their way by, this is getting dangerously close at the moment. Jack Smith will have to review the mirrors. That's a half look. It could become a full look in the next few meters. He was momentarily alongside. Back tyre to front tyre. Now it's going to be much more closer. Now it's going to be door to door. Sandy Burgi going for his second win of the campaign. Can he take the lead into the first turn of this new lap now? Jack Smith's going to brave it a long way round. Jack Smith, of course, coming off doing the double at Silverstone. He's got a lot of momentum, but Burgi is desperate to return back to the top step, and he's prepared to risk it around the outside. And if these two continue battling, I think everyone knows this by now, Weber Narashta does not need a second invitation. It's calm, composed once more, and now Smith is still having to look in those mirrors. Burgi preparing a move around the outside. He's just trying to position the car perfectly for an attack back down the start-finish straight. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Jumping on board with the driver who's second, looking to try and get himself into P1 though. That was very close on the straight between the pair of them, and they get away with it. And now Weber Narashta's got a chance. Narashta trying to re-enter the mix on the outside line. Burgi, of course, brakes very, very late. And now 3 cars dueling for the win here at Brands Hatch Indy. I did say in race 2, for some reason, it's always where we get battles that go till the end. Race 1, we get a bit of battling for the lead, but usually we get a pull-away leader. I don't know what it is, but somehow in race 2, they're always just so close together. And whatever happens, they are still close together. Nothing breaks them apart. I'm not complaining about that one bit. It means that we have to wait till last for best of the racing. And now it is time to go wheel to wheel once again. We've been in this position for a while. Jack Smith defending. Around the outside goes Sandy Burgi. This time he gets a full car length in front, but then has to, of course, deal with running in deep as well, due to the more speed that he carried into the corner. Weber Narashta very nearly makes it 3 wide. Jack Smith with the inside is going to hang on to it. Can Burgi experiment the long way round? Not at the moment. Can Narashta now try and get in the mix? Our champion looking to try to do something extraordinary at the end. It's still centimetre stuff between the pair of them, all running so close together. Oh, this is really turning out to be quite the fascinating race. Sandy Burgi gives a hit. Weber Narashta gives him a hit. And now George Given improving through. It's turned into a brawl out there at Brands Hatch. Cars have gone absolutely everywhere. And, well, it was a concertina effect as they came over the line, and we're still going side by side down into the opening part of the lap. So now we find ourselves with Weber Narashta dropping down to P5. So Narashta finds himself dropping down. Unbelievable stuff for the driver, who, as we've said, has been first or second in every race so far this season. He's going to have a hard task now improving up. Matt Pryor is third, George Given's fourth, and Weber is now P5. All the while, the battle for the win is not done yet. And we are beginning to enter the next few final stages of the contest with the win on the line. Out of the final corner will go. Okay, we are back with you. Apologies for momentarily the loss of pictures, but the battle is still raging on and on and on between the drivers as they make their way by. So, Matt Pryor looks to try and be getting in the mix. Sandy Burgi has got the lead though. Our producer just making sure everything is all back and running. Apologies for the loss momentarily. He'll get me pictures in a second. But yes, the battling still very much raging on and on and on. So, here we go. We have got 3 minutes to go on the clock. And a battle that is very much raging on. This is for the lead. Sandy Burgi was able to take P1, and now Jack Smith is looking to try and defend and attack at the same time, but Matt Pryor is looking to also be there. Matt Pryor, remember, on his, well, now second round of returning, his, of course, fourth round in total of this season, the 2 rounds he had at the start, the 2 rounds that he's having now, and we're still scrapping away for P1. Sandy Burgi and the inside line for Jack Smith. Can he try and get the advantage? It is absolutely fantastic, but now Burgi runs in deep, and Matt Pryor's got the chance. Matt Pryor looking to make it 3 wide into the final stages. Burgi's got P1. Jack Smith's got second. Matt Pryor is third. Narashdo and Given in behind. Given's going on the outside. Narashdo's going on the inside. And now they will basically all just meet in the middle and continue this run over the line. Burgi with P1. Smith's going to try and attack now. He's, of course, got rolled reverse pretty much now because he's the attacking car in that battle. But that position is still rages on. Webber's been able to recover some of the time that he's lost. But now, trying to keep it together will be Matt Pryor. Pryor's going to look in the mirrors. Given's going to get a shot. Meanwhile, Johnson's trying to defend further back. That's right to the brink of the apex, where Daniel is diving to the inside as well. And Daniel looking to try and be in there, and he's got it. So Daniel moves past. We're cutting absolutely everywhere because we don't know where to look at the moment. So much going on. So much scrapping being had. This is the TDM FunCup Championship that we know and love. And remember, stay with us after the checkered flag. We'll be dropping season number 2. And in terms of the calendar, to show you what type of madness we have coming up. We make our way over the line, and we will now enter another lap of racing. Some more side-by-side for you. This is going to be now the chance for Jonathan to try and go the long way round. He's got it for the moment. So Burgi's got the lead. Jack Smith's in second. We're focusing though on some of the scrapping going on further back. All the while, Daniel's got the inside line. Can he try and convert that into an overtake? Looks like he is, at the moment, just going to have to sit in behind and possibly look in the mirrors because John Jigg's going to be there at the same time. So, we make our way by with Sandy Burgi exiting the last few turns of the circuit, and we're hoping we're going to possibly get one more lap, but we'll have to see as we come over the line. So, Sandy Burgi then will cut the beam, and he has taken the checkered flag and won. He returns back to the top step of the podium. It was thrilling all the way till the end, and it is Burgi on the top step of the podium. We were seconds away from another lap, but I guess another lap means another lap just of chaos now for these drivers, really. It is Burgi, and then it is Smith. And for the first time this season, Webber Narashdo, not in first, not in second, he finds himself third. But at least he can say that he's been on the podium in every single race. That'll be the stat that will continue next time out in terms of Imola, the final round. Webber Narashdo, though, your season 1 champion. He was crowned earlier. He's had a bit of an up and down race now, but he's done the job, and that's the most important thing. Remember, stay with us. We're going to be revealing season 2's calendar very, very shortly. What a day. It's been wild. Well, this is the moment. We were ticking down on the clock, and once again, the clock just beat us to the line. Just beat us once again, and this time it was Burgi. who has his name on the trophy as the race winner. Then all the madness that usually comes. Destruction derby as we made our way down into the first. That is wild. Absolutely wild. You're just seeing everything that's just happened a few moments ago. Okay, we're gonna go over to our calendar now. Imola is still to come, but that's not the most exciting. That is not the most exciting thing I have to tell you in terms of today, in terms of calendar-wise, because we are gonna find ourselves very, very shortly getting ourselves into season number 2's calendar. It's gonna be really, really fun. Now, there's been a long anticipation. Our producer has had this video ready for quite a while. And you know, Matt Fryer has had the calendar ready as well for quite a while. So overall, that is kind of how things have pretty much gone in terms of calendar-wise. It's been a big, big build-up, and I'll wait for the message in my ear as to when we can reveal it, when we can go. George Given asking, no interviews. Basically, the way we're doing it is we're going to go through the Season 2 calendar, because we want to get your reaction to the calendar as well as the race. So that's why we're doing it. We want to get your reaction to 2 things. So there's no point doing interviews first, if you get what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. Basically, that's why we currently are not, at the moment, doing interviews, because we'll do them straight after. Okay, well, it is very much time to get going in season number 2. We have one more round remaining of this season, but no more waiting. It is time to announce our season 2 calendar. And how about that? We have revealed our season 2 calendar. What are people feeling? What are people feeling about it? Let's get some initial thoughts before we get interviews going. So, I mean, I've got someone celebrating no Alton. There we go. Webber Nimasha's happy about no Valulunga. Interesting, interesting. Lots of mixed opinions. But first of all, let's speak to our champion. We'll get to the conversation in terms of what we have for season 2 in a second. But Webber Nimasha, congratulations on the championship. Of course, you've mentioned it's all about having a bit of fun at the same time. But you know, you've had fun all the way, and I guess you've also got the biggest trophy now of the season. Congratulations. Do we have Webber Nimasha with us? Hopefully we do. We're just gonna wait a moment to see. I don't think we have him yet. We're having to wait. We're having to wait. I'm gonna. He didn't hear my question anyway, so I'm gonna have to now rephrase it in a second once we've got him working. We're gonna have to wait to speak to our champion. Okay, well, let's just be a little bit more patient. Let's be. We'll be patient. We'll be patient. It's fine. We'll wait. We will wait. I hope we can get him. It would be apparently. So right. Okay. Matt Pryor. Right. Okay. Matt Pryor can hear me. George Given can hear me. A few people can't hear me. I don't know what's going on. Um. Yeah. So people rejoin. Okay. George Given, can you hear me first of all?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, George Given. In terms of I think your fastest day in the TDM Fun Cup Championship overall. Of course, you had some great performances. Yeah, you had some great performances so far in terms of getting a podium in terms of round 1 of your campaign. However, today, second place in qualifying, right behind Revan Arashto. How did that feel?
I was very surprised because I knew I had a fast lap, but I didn't expect P2. Yeah, I just considering Jack Smith has been on podiums constantly, and I was surprised he didn't. I can't remember where he started, but I was surprised he wasn't ahead of me.
Absolutely, absolutely. At the moment, we're just joking about in terms of possibly people outside the UK are just unable to hear me at the moment. We've made that assumption. That is that is interesting. So I mean I can't be heard. George Given can't be heard either. So this is really interesting. Discord, I
wasn't
mean, it's been
talking.
having quite a few issues.
Sorry.
It seems like across today. Right. Anyway, George Given, in terms of the races, you kind of found yourself dropping down, didn't you? You kind of found yourself dropping down slightly. So what happened in terms of race 1 then?
Well, obviously, I think I can't do starts well in these cars, but I managed to keep P2 at the start. I decided to take the inside line to make sure no one else can try and get the inside. But then I think kind of midway through, Jack, he just started trying to overtake me, and it held both of us up, giving Webber P1, and then everyone else started catching up, and I just kept losing positions. I know, and then I had an incident through the. I say it's a flat, but other people were saying it's not flat for everyone. But I always go flat. I always go flat through there. And it seems like the person ahead of me, I think it was John J. I can't remember, but he didn't go flat. And I hit the back of him. I know I've hit John Jig in the back in the past at Nürburgring, but I've had a few incidents because it wasn't the greatest of races, even though I started P2, but
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here it is. Here is your season 2 calendar in terms of picture-wise. George Given, what is your thoughts on the season 2 calendar? I mean, all British circuits. That I think you can pretty much notice from the British flags. But yeah, what's your opinions? I guess you've got your Brands Hatch.
yeah, it's not the Brands Hatch I wanted, but it's still Brands Hatch, so I'm still happy. Not kill. I've never driven it on Assetto Corsa, but having it in reverse as well, that's interesting. I think they do it in reverse sometimes. I'm not sure,
Yes.
but I think I've seen it in reverse, like in motorsport. But yeah.
Yes.
Donington, I'm decently strong up Donington. I'm not sure pace wise, but I enjoy the track. And then obviously Silverstone in there. So yeah, I think it's a good calendar. Yeah.
It is a good calendar. And yes, Not Kill, of course, can be run, as you mentioned, both ways. It is licensed to. Only circuit that can be when it comes to the UK, bar of course short turbo racing, because that doesn't count in this conversation. I mean, sorry, I've been very distracted across this interview, George, given, because thousands of drivers can't hear us who seem to be outside the UK for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't know what's going on. We're having a great day so far in terms of everything that's currently happening. Um, but yeah, well done on today. It's been great to see your face be good. What is your chances? What is your chances? Do you think heading into Imola in a week's time?
Imola is definitely not my strongest track. What's
George, can you
this?
explain this graphic, please?
Yeah. Um.
Our producer asked
Yeah.
me to. Yes.
Well, I tried. I was busy.
Oh.
From Thursday. I was physically not able to go to my setup, but I did have a whole week to. Yeah.
Honestly, this broadcast completely is
Why
derailing at
not?
the moment. We've got random things that are being mentioned. We've got random things that are being mentioned in terms of the chat, in terms of ways for people to possibly end up in the UK. Anyway,
No.
Daniel has nearly completed 500 laps. That was the goal for George Given to beat, but he couldn't. Right, Daniel. First of all, your thoughts on that graphic?
My thoughts on the graphic?
Yeah.
I should have done 500.
Yeah,
I
nearly.
was very close to, but 500 was the goal this week, and I didn't quite make it there.
Right, okay. Why can't Matt Pry not hear me anymore? What's going on here? Oh, apparently someone else can now hear me. So random people can now hear me, but Matt Pryor can't. It seems like we've only got a capability of a few people in this call to hear me at the moment. This is incredible. This is fantastic. What is going on? Anyway, Daniel. Overall, then, how did today go for you? How did overall today go for you then, in terms of your running around Brands Hatch?
Overall, I think it could have gone quite a lot better. Being taken out a few times by a certain someone wasn't particularly nice. But overall, I think I could have done better. There was definitely more time in my laps, and I knew where the time was in my lap, but I just didn't end up doing it in qualifying. I did have much better race pace, but just kept making mistakes.
Okay, makes sense. We've just had season 2 calendar revealed. Thoughts on it?
I'm looking forward to a few of the tracks, but one track I'm not looking forward to is Thruxton.
Oh, okay. Okay. Why is that? Have you just not had any good running around that in the past?
No, it's to do with these cars. The rear left
Oh,
temperature is already quite bad, and it's going to be even worse around Thruxton.
I see. I see. Okay, so that could definitely be quite interesting for us watching. Probably not for you guys driving. Okay, and then thoughts heading into Imola then, final round of this season.
Um, I think it's going to be a very interesting track. It's going to be should be equal on tire temperature rather than one
Okay.
overheating, but it's for compared to the rest, it's the longest track on the calendar. So it's going to be whoever can string the most corners together successfully.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you very much, Daniel. Good luck practicing, and hopefully you can give our producer another good graphic to make for the final round of the season.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do quite 500 when I think the lap's about 2 minutes or something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What's the goal then? What's the goal? How many are we expecting?
250?
Okay, interesting. So JT can already kind of be prepared with that then. We might be aiming for somewhere around that. Make sure you do hit 250 though, not nearly.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you for speaking with us. Right. George Gibbons asking, what if I beat Daniel in laps? Congratulations. You get a graphic. You get a graphic. Right. We're completely now going in a different direction now. We're gonna try. We're gonna try possibly do Video Ninja in a second. Unless there's anyone else who can hear me in Discord at the moment that we can actually get done on Discord. Webinar Master, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yes, we can. We can. Hello, Weber. As I kind of
Okay.
asked earlier, congratulations on the championship. Of course, you also, have said in the past that it's all about having fun. I mean, you've had fun across the season, and you also just got the championship done overall. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a formality if I just participate in the final 2 rounds that I will be the champion since the lead was pretty large beforehand. But yeah, well, great graphic. Thank you.
Yes, we loved having that graphic as well as we made our way out there on the circuit. Okay, well, yeah, that's season 1 in terms of done for you. What's the aim now heading into the final round, the final 2 races? What's the aim? Just have a bit of fun, end the season on a high, you think?
I don't know. It would be a different experience because there are left and right corners in Imola instead of just right handers like tonight, which caused me quite a few left rear tire temperature issues. But yeah, I don't know about Imola because the curbs normally are quite aggressive, and these cars are not very, they don't like the curbs, especially high ones that much. So we might see a few interesting curb jumping moments at Imola. That would be pretty exciting to watch on stream.
Interesting. Very, very interesting then. Season 2, calendar. You're happy that there's no Vallelunga? I think that was you who said that. What's
Yeah.
your thoughts then on the calendar?
Well, I've heard, well, I think I've watched quite a few BTCC races around some of the
Yes.
tracks, but that was about, I think, 6 years ago when I was in university. I had a lot of time so that I
Right.
can watch a lot of different series because after working, basically, I've ditched a lot of series because I just simply don't have time to watch them. But yeah, the most intriguing one is the final round. I don't even know, is it Anglesey? Anglesey? How do you even pronounce that? Because I've never
Yes.
heard of the track before.
I mean, to be fair, I've kind of had to have a look at it as well because I've never covered any racing when it comes to that circuit. So, yeah, it's definitely another round thrown in there, which I'm looking forward to round number 9 as well. But Anglesey Coastal is our location on the 23rd June of 7 p.m. Do you think you'll be able to go back to back with championships? You think?
I think, well, we've seen tonight that got a new driver, Eric Johansson, who was quite handy in qualifying and also in the races, apart from a bit of bumps that pushed him out of the way, as well as Jack Smith, who, of course, is very fast. And Sandy Berger, because when he doesn't mess around, when he actually decides to, to put 100% or maybe even 80% effort into the championship, he will walk away with the championship if he tries. Is basically what I'm saying. But normally, does no practice, just gets on the server and qualifying is his practice. So yeah, there will be quite a few contenders, that is for sure. But
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. I think yeah, it's still Tuesday, right?
Um, yes, I think it will still be Tuesday. Yes, I just got confirmation about it. It will be Tuesday as well.
Yeah.
That will still be running. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how that season's gonna go. But first of all, go and enjoy driving 2 more races, 1 round as a champion. Congratulations on today, Weber Nurashdo, your season 1 TDM Fun Cup champion.
Thank you very much, and thank you finally for a brilliant season of streams. Of course, one more to go, but yeah, thank you for bringing this championship to more excitement. Because as sim racers, we all want our races to be broadcasted, because that brings another perspective to it, and it's a great way to attract more people to join the championship. because that's why, you know, a lot of people want to race. They want to see themselves back on stream, but afterwards. So yeah, appreciate it.
No worries at all. No worries at all. So, it has been a great race. As JT just given Weber a message on production as well. Thank you very much, Weber Ashto. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, see you next week.
Okay, that was Revenue Ashto. That's another interview done. This is a broadcast where we're just getting drivers thrown at us. So who's being thrown at me next now? Like I've completely lost track. Okay, we've got Eric Johansson as well, as he's coming to the championship. Welcome, Eric. Great to have you with us. First of all, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. We can hear you as well. Okay, well, you kind of came in and were a contender nearer to the front. So, how was it across the round from your perspective?
Well, yeah, I went in with, I think, 5 minutes of practice. I didn't know the car. I've been registered for like 3 races, and this is the first I actually do. But no, it's I went in. I did like 5 minutes of practice. I went and ate a nice dinner, and then I went to the qualifying, and I qualified P3, so it's quite good. Feeling quite well. But then, the race went quite horribly after like lap 10 something in race 1, and then race 2 was just a disaster class.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of then, do you plan on racing next time out at Imola? Do you think you'll be free and you'll be with us, joining us there?
Yeah, I suspect I will. I hope I will. We'll see.
Looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
see.
And yeah, in terms of season 2, you've got the calendar in front of you as well, don't you? So what's your thoughts on
Yes.
that?
Well, it's British. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea really. I've driven like 2 of these tracks, and no, but it looks good. It's I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing you across some of them as well. Okay, well done on today. You've demonstrated some great pace, and I mean, you know, being mentioned as well by our newest champion and our first champion of TDM FunCup Championship. It is definitely great confidence, I'm sure, for you as well. Matt Pryor is going to give you about 20 quid for being nice about the calendar, so well done on that at the same time. But yes, well done on today overall, and we will see you hopefully in a week.
Yes, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay. I am about to get Noah Ferrone, which first of all, I need to have I need to have a word with George Given. He tried telling me 1 week ago that that's not how you say the name. Yeah. Apparently, I was told that's not how you say his name. But you know, I asked him.
Don't bring me up here.
I asked him a while back. Okay, so yes. Well, George Given's back now. Anyway, Noah. So well done in terms of arriving on the scene. But yeah, we saw you last week in, I think, race 2. Didn't really, of course, see you today, but yeah. Welcome to the TDM Fun Cup Championship. Are you excited to join us here?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So when do you think? Well, next week. Do you think you'll be with us?
Yeah, I should be.
It's going to be quite a lot of fun. Season 2 calendar. What's your thoughts then about the 9 rounds that we have?
I've never driven quite a lot of these, so it'll be interesting.
It's going to be interesting indeed. I mean, this is one of the interesting interviews where I actually get to just completely ask about season 2 because, of course, you weren't out there on the circuit. So, yeah, what circuits then on this calendar have you driven and you've actually done well at?
Brands Hatch.
Silverstone, I think Brands Hatch. That's it.
Anglesey?
No, I've never driven.
Oh.
Wait, I might have actually.
Yes, Jensen's dad.
Probably don't.
Jensen always mentions that.
Well,
there might be a team with me in there actually next season. If
Yeah.
we'll just have the same liveries, but not I don't think there's teams, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll see if there's any alliances formed. We have a Jack alliance going on, I know, and that's basically apparently to beat Webb and Arashto, if I'm correct. That's what I was told a few weeks ago. I don't know whether the aim is still the same. But yes, anyway, well done, I guess, to both of you for joining this midway through. Well done to you, George Given, in terms of the races and the performances that you've shown. And well done, Noah, in terms of making it very quickly to last week's race. And good luck now for the final round at Imola to the pair of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Noah Ferrone and George Given.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, next up, I think we only have now Matt Pryor. Matt
Hi.
Pryor is here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good. The hay fever is really starting to kick at this
Oh.
very moment. It's fantastic.
Oh, okay. Very, very interesting. In terms of your racing, in terms of your qualifying today, were you? Was it interesting for you out there?
Interesting is a word. Interesting is a word. Yeah, I had a good start, race 1, and then Daniel had a pretty good snipe at me using Burgie's car. Pretty impressive.
Oh.
But that kind of put me near the back. But then second race, I fought for podium positions. I was in P2 at one point for a second. Made a double overtake at the final corner. It was fun. It was fun to be racing with people this time.
Yeah, I heard you had an interesting time 1 week ago, when I wasn't here. But yeah.
Yeah, I it's okay. I know where they live.
Oh, okay. Lovely. Fantastic. Fantastic. Right, season 2 calendar. You've decided it, so I'm not just going to ask you what your thoughts on it because I know what your thoughts will be. What was in mind though when you designed it though?
English, yes.
Okay.
Pretty much. The precursor to the league, way back when I first drew it up, was British. Then I thought, well, I'm inexperienced with the server software, so I'll just use in-game tracks.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring some Britishness for season 2. Now I have experience with the server software. I also wanted to not just do generic British tracks. I wanted to do ones that even sort of motorsport fans may not have heard of. And even tried doing the older reverse layout as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tracks I've hardly driven, some of them. It's some tracks that I've driven a lot. It's purely a bit of dive into the unknown. But yeah, I think it's gonna be some good racing.
I'm going to ask you the question anyway. What's your unbiased opinion then on the calendar overall?
Awful. Absolutely shambolic. Why would
Yeah.
anybody come up with that calendar? No.
Well,
I think it's a good calendar. I think we've got a nice mixture of tracks. I think everyone will have a good track. I think it'll be interesting. Brands Hatch will be interesting because we had tire temperature issues last season, but we are running much cooler next season. It'll be interesting to see if the changes worked. Obviously, Silver's International was probably the best race, and probably still is the best race we've had for this season. So I wanted to bring that one back. And then, yeah, I think Thruxton will be interesting because it's a bit more of a high speed, it's like old airfield style track. Yeah, it's got a good mixture on there, and I think we'll definitely learn a lot about the limitations of the car and what tracks we can do. So hopefully, when we get to season 3 confirmed, then we'll know what tracks to pick, and we should hopefully have an even more refined calendar.
okay. And what about Imola then, the final round of this season? Opinions, thoughts heading into that?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I mean, we're not going to have many laps.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a completely different track. This is a little bit of an experimentation track in my back of my mind about how the car fares on longer trucks. Obviously, got to watch out with the curbs because they will destroy the car. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I quite like it, Muller. I've had reasonable success around there. I think we're going to have a load of slipstream on that main straight. We're like 4 wide minimum.
Oh,
Heard it here
can't wait.
first.
Can't wait. Okay,
Yeah.
I believe we've got some form of a replay to show you of something
Okay.
out there on the circuit. So we'll let you look at the screen. We'll play our lovely transition, and so this is of course you finding yourself up against Jack Smith. Jack Smith gets ahead. Then you have Daniel, Brogy, and yourself all just very much getting into each other. What happened from your perspective?
So you see, I had to slide out the hairpin. So I just keep myself to the right, and then I just see this blue shape pointing towards me, pointing to where I'm going. And I'm like, that can't be good. And I kind of didn't really realize what had happened until after I saw the replay. But yeah, it looks like Daniel's reacting to Jack and then doesn't quite see that Virgie's alongside him, and then yeah, just Constantina's. Yeah.
Pretty much as well. Okay, I think I've run out of questions now to ask you
Aw.
as well. Unfortunately. Oh well. Okay. So, what are you having then for dinner if you've not already had dinner? There you go. I have another
Oh,
question.
I had spaghetti. I had spaghetti for dinner.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Fantastic. Anything planned for tomorrow then?
tomorrow is Wednesday.
Correct.
It is touring car launch day. That is a very good shout. It is touring car launch day. Yes, let's go with that.
Okay.
Good
Lovely.
answer.
Thank you very much. So JT's going Brands Hatch as well.
Obviously.
So yeah, he'll be there. Can we have your opinions just on our graphic? Do you like it? I know you've already seen it many times, and you saw the season 1 graphic, and it's the same thing. But do you like it?
I love your graphics.
Oh,
They are
absolutely fantastic.
they're gonna be in a gallery in a few years' time.
Which gallery specifically?
The what's it called? The Royal Art Gallery, whatever it's called in London.
Oh, okay, so I'll be very close to it then. Lovely. Lovely.
The video was splendid. Absolutely dashing.
He likes the video as well, as the producer asks about that.
Considering I don't pay you, you're doing quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, should he be paying? Should he be paying? Next question.
Should I be paying?
Yeah.
I think you need to speak to my lawyer. Frankly, I don't really
Okay.
wish to comment on that. That's because we're kind of quite close to slavery right now.
Makes
We're breaking
sense.
modern slavery rules. So
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, I have now run out of questions. I think that's enough. Because I want to go have some food, believe it or not. So yeah, that's why. That's why. Or I could just ask you questions all day. We'll save that for another day, week, month, year. We'll see.
good.
Okay, we'll let you get on with the rest of your day. Actually, before we go, what are you doing next then in your day?
What am I doing next then in my day? What
Yeah.
am I going to do? I am probably going to get a cold drink because it is
Okay.
heckin' warm. But I will probably also make sure I've got all the mod links for all the tracks next season, so I can get people to download them early, so we're not rushing around.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Sounds like a good idea. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us for a very long interview. And
Yeah.
we look forward to having you back at Imola for
Thank
more
you.
racing as you return back from injury.
Yes.
Goodbye, Matt Pryor.
Goodbye.
Okay, and that brings to a close the TDM FunCup Championship round here at Brands Hatch Indy. We have crowned our first ever champion. It has been added to the history book. Season 1 goes to Weber Nirashto. We still have one more round to go, and that will be at Imola in a week's time for some more TDM FunCup chaos. We look forward to having your company there. So it's going to be very much an exciting round. Let's see what's going to happen in the final chapter of Season 1.